Hey, you guys, welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki, and today I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at knottylove2020@gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable, and please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your host, Nikki, bring you the latest and trending topics, and I vlog my life. People also know me as Naughty. Either one is great. Doesn't matter. Oh my God. I hope you all had a wonderful, blessed day. I know I did. And these streets are haunted. Y'all see that thumbnail. We gonna dive in. Because last night when we ended the live, we ended it with breaking news. Like, oh! And Chris Stokes' ex-wife has spoken out and put the nail in the coffin. So I just want to do a bit of a deep dive into the history behind these allegations, where they all come from, and then we'll do some trending topics if we have time. How's everybody feeling? All right, please make sure y'all hitting that like button as y'all loading up in the room. So YouTube know that we here. We can get into the algorithm. Share this content. I think this conversation needs to be had worldwide, because this behavior that we're going to talk about is very systematic and it goes back for years. Okay, decades. I'm talking Shirley Temple days, the grooming of it all. All right. Also, donate to the channel. You know, YouTube's algorithm does not like topics like this. So please support your girl. I did a little bit of homework, finding some clippings and things like that because I want to dive in. Chris Stokes is responsible for a lot out here. Okay. You talk about groups for like Immature and Quindon Tarver. He was a very known R&B singer. We'll get into a little bit of his background. All right. He's also responsible for the success of B2K. But it's like the success at what cost? All right. And you know, in listening to different content creators, I was challenged about Monet. That's who Chris Stokes' ex-wife is, when she came out. And then part of me, like as a mother, it's just like we don't know what she went through. But at the end of the day, like this has to stop. Like I just was listening to Couture Bay, and she's like, she made a good point. A lot of these spouses are complicit in covering up these monsters' bad habits. And she's so right. Like Drea Kelly, all their spouses. Like you can't tell me she ain't know what was going on. You can't tell me she didn't see them girls going in and out of that house. You cannot tell me. Woo! This is gonna be some heavy topics today. Gear up, get your coffee, your drink, whatever you into right now. We gonna dive right in. All right. I'm gonna drop this intro, give people a chance to load up in the room, and I will be right back. Hey Jayla, hey Kasodak. Thank y'all for joining me. Oh my God, this been a heavy day when it comes to this topic because my heart goes out to Rasby. It really does. Because he has been trying to get the world to believe him for the longest. And I just really feel like he has suffered and things like that. As you all know, last year he recanted, and we don't know the reason behind that, but Chris Stokes silenced him, and this is the culture that we need to end, silencing the victims. Like, the victims should be able to have a voice. Um, I feel like they should be believed until it's proven different. I'm sorry. When it comes to things like this behavior has been coddled in this country going back to slavery days. All right. The grooming process and things like that. It's a lot. This is emotional for me, just so you guys know. Um, and I'm gonna take my time to get through it. But yeah, today I was just kind of relaxing because it's freezing outside on the East Coast. Child, it's so cold. Like, ugh, I'll probably just get me a bottle of wine and chill in the house tonight. And then tomorrow I have my table read for the film that I'm in. So I was studying my script all day. Hey, St. Hudson. I was studying my script all day so I could be the best Popeyes cashier there is around. Okay. That's my role. So tomorrow's the first table read. I'm a little nervous about it because it's my first time doing something like this. I didn't even expect to get the role. I just kind of walked right into it, and then they like audition. So I auditioned, and then they're like, "Boom, you got it. We want it." So I'm just like, "Oh, what did I get myself into?" You know what I mean? But I'm all I'm in it for the experience of it all. This is one thing I could check off my little bucket list. All right, so why not a little acting? Hey, Turex, thank you. Yes, so let's dive right in. So, as you all know, Crystal's ex-wife, Monet, blew up the internet last night. Okay, and now her account has mysteriously disappeared. Okay, and I believe, and this is my opinion, that Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston is behind it. All right. So she posted to the gram yesterday, and she said her name is Manye Morton. She said, I married him in 2004, just days before I gave birth to my fourth child. He has faced accusations of SA that I know to be true. That I know to be true. Those words right there. All right. But parties are unwilling to come forward and confirm them. I can confirm that he committed these acts, and it begins with acknowledging what I didn't want to accept. I married a perpetrator of such crimes. Now it's time for me to liberate my spirit and open up about it. For the past 2.5 years, I've dedicated time to self improvement, working on my mental, physical, and emotional well being, often in solitude. At this point, something desires is for every victim, including herself, to heal and live long, healthy, productive. I see justice. And on the tail end of this, the important thing is she hashtagged Chris Stokes and she hashtagged Marcus Houston. All right. So me, I've been waiting all day to see if Raz B will come out and say something. Like I've been telling y'all, nothing. Radio silence. And shout out to AT2, because when I was over at his panel, he went on Ricky Romance, which is Raz B's brother, page, and went into his stories. And he responded, you guys, okay? So I took the screenshot. He responded to her and said, tell her to call me. I'm ready to take him down. Now, he also has been speaking up and making allegations for years, backing up Raz B. All right. And then after all of this, it disappears. So then he posted to his story, Chris Stokes and Marques Houston, cancer over Raz B. M claims. Okay. We got to protect our kids. All right. And then he also posted Tasha K to his story. So that is Ricky Romance's story. He's the only one that responded thus far. All right. These are some serious allegations. Yes. I'm gonna get into Marcus Houston and his child bride in a second, St. Hudson. I know. I used to love Roger too, the annoying neighbor. I used to love him. He was so cute. And unfortunately, Marcus Houston is a definite example of a victim turning predator. A lot of the times, the predators have been victims themselves. Let's just call a spade what it is. That's what happens. Um, and Raz spoke to this. He spoke to this. He's like, he got Marcus at a very young age. So then he started just participating. It became second nature for him. Yeah, he did always look suspect to me. But for those of you who don't know, Chris Stokes is responsible for a lot. Immature, B2K. He has movies on BET. He has movies on Tubi. He has a big hand in the industry. He has a lot of power in the industry, which I believe the reason why he has had a hold over these young men for all of these years. I mean, I'm just going to speak to a photo that is very inappropriate, but it was the cover of one of their albums, Immature. It was the three of them in the bed with just their undergarments on. The picture was creepy. It was inappropriate. Exactly. And all of his groups, if you notice, a lot of their music was salacious and over SEX actualized. I'll say it like that. And St. Hudson is right. They never had shirts on. Immature. You could look back and see that they never had shirts on. And so just to give you a little background, I found Lipstick Alley. They broke down the allegations through the years when it comes to Chris Stokes. All right. And everything is here that I'm talking about is allegedly. Let me put my banner up. All right. So none of this has been proven in a court of law. Chris Stokes has not been brought to justice or anything. So all of these things are allegations. I need to be responsible with that. But this is a behavior that is coddled, especially in the music industry and in the movie industry. The grooming process. All right. So Lipstick Alley broke it down. Romeo was the first official member or immature. Then Marcus and Half Pint in 1990 when they were 8 years old. Half Pint's parents take him out of the group and he is replaced by LDB. Now he was removed from the group suddenly. Nobody knew why, right? Then Quindon was discovered in 1994. So Quindon, he's on the thumbnail. Did I upload it? No, I forgot to upload it. He's on a thumbnail, but he was a very successful R&B singer. He was on the soundtrack of Romeo and Juliet and things like that. And he spoke about how much he was paid. He was only paid for like 3,500, but the movie grows millions, like $40 million or something crazy like that. And he only got paid $3,500. And Chris Stokes banked off of it. Okay. And just so you all know, Chris Stokes follows the same formula as Diddy when it comes to his artists. He keeps them broke while he gets rich off of their hard work. Same formula. All right, so Quindon was discovered in 1994 through an NCA representative and signed to Virgin with the help of Chris Stokes. He had a manager at the time named Alan Walker. All right. Quindon was one of the first ones that spoke out loud and made allegations towards Chris Stokes. Then Alan is removed from the picture, and Quindon's mother isn't always touring or staying in California with him. Quindon alleged that Stokes and Marques began to actually abuse him around 1996. And this is why Monye mentioned Marcus's name. Okay. Even Raz B mentioned Marcus's name. All right. Marcus' mom died in 1997. Quindon is dropped from Tug in 1997 because he told someone about what happened to him, and it got back to management. Then Raz B mom was on substances and made their cousin Chris Stokes his guardian when he was 13. This is how Raz B ended up in the hands of Chris Stokes. And we know predators, they love to prey on the weak and the unfortunate, right? They take advantage of that. And they start by love bombing them with showing them this lavish life and buying them all these beautiful things. And that's also that they are complicit when they make their demands on them actually. So Razby says that he had with Taz on his 14th birthday and was first raped by Marques at the same house Quindon was first assaulted at. Okay. We went over that conversation yesterday. And I'm telling you, when I heard that conversation with Raz B and Quindon, I believed them. And, because victims usually recollect specific details because they're trying, like during the act, they're trying to focus on something on else besides what's going on. So BTK is formed in 1999 and quickly breaks up in 2003 for several reasons that differ according to who you ask. All right, we're going to get into that. Omarion's response. Raz B, Boog, and Lil Fizz start taping a reality show in 2007 and plan to make a comeback together. So in December, 2 weeks after telling his brother Ricky, Raz B is recording telling Marques Houston's father and sister that Marques and Stokes M-word them. Stokes and Ricky talk on the phone, and Stokes tells him, I don't do that anymore. This audio recording of Stokes saying that, I don't do that anymore. I don't know, Naughty Crew. That sounds like an admission to me. Y'all let me know in the comments. All right. So Ricky posts a video and publicized the allegation. Stokes says that he was turning down their request for money. So Raz B retracts the allegations while Ricky stands by what they said in the video. Raz B later admits that the retraction video was coerced and that Chris had given him money, which I think this happened this last time he retracted. All right. If you remember last year, he had a whole breakdown. He ended up in the hospital. His hair was broken and wrapped up. He said some people were after him and things like that. And then all of a sudden, he comes out with this apology and he makes this weird statement. I believe Chris Stokes gave him some more money. He gave him some hush money. All right. So this last year wasn't the first time he retracted. So in 2008, Vibe magazine puts out an article and an interview everyone involved in the article. Quindon Tarver comes forward for the first time. All right. In 2010, Raz B starts making allegations against posting several videos calling Houston and Stokes the PEDO word. Okay. A phone call between him and Quindon is the subject of the videos where Quindon goes into graphic detail about his allegations, we'll call it. Quindon also said an LAPD detective called him regarding an investigation into Stokes, but some people weren't cooperating, so it fell. So remember, Monye, one of the things she highlighted is that people will not come forward. Right here. He has faced accusations. This confirms it of SA that I know to be true, but parties are unwilling to come forward. Okay? Shout out to Lipstick Alley. They broke all of this down. I was like, yes, everything in one place. All right. So Quindon didn't consent to the videos being uploaded. And so let me speak to that. All right. So there is a video of Raz B and Quindon discussing what happened to them. Rasby is the one that leaked it. And shortly after that happened, all of a sudden, Quindon is in a mysterious car accident and is unalive. Now, I've heard two versions of them. Some people say he deleted himself, and some people choose to go on with the narrative that it was just a terrible car accident, but his family member came out and said that he suffered a long time. So then next, Marques gets a restraining order against Raz B and Ricky, and gets a restraining order against everyone. Okay? Why Marques? What you got to hide? What you got to hide? Raz makes more allegations stating that Boog and Fizz were also N-word. Ray Day calls Raz to have him clear his name from another video where he was mentioned, but also says that he spoke to Marques and asked him about what happened and that he didn't say it wasn't true. Boom. Raz B goes to China in 2011 and stays there for 7 years. In 2012, he makes a video addressing a bunch of rumors about him and still says that Houston and Stokes N-word him and that Stokes also N-word immature. Remember I said earlier, one of the group members all of a sudden disappeared. Nobody knew why, and they just replaced her. This is crazy, y'all. So B2K reunites in 2019 for the Millennial Tour. Y'all remember this? This is around the time Omarion was on Love and Hip Hop. 3 dates in, Razzie says he's leaving the tour because he thinks Stokes is around and doesn't feel safe. J Boog makes a video mocking Razzie video where he says he's leaving the tour and wears a shirt that says, "I don't feel safe." J Boog is the vice president of Chris Stokes' production company. All right. And Marques Houston is also his right hand man. Keep that in mind. Okay. So Raz B is arrested during the tour for strangling his girlfriend, unfortunately. And see, when people suffer um violations at such a young age, it makes them very emotionally unhinged, unstable, okay? And they tend to project that anger because they don't know what to do with those feelings. Like when that, especially when it happens to young boys, it does something to them. It confuses their sexuality and things like that. So I feel like he was abusive because he probably was using substances to try to suppress those feelings. But by him being on that tour, it was a re-traumatization for him. And they just expect you to just sweep it under the rug and act like nothing happened. All right. So then in 2019, Omarion does an interview acknowledging that he believes something happened to Raz B. Now, speaking of that, I have that clip in. Please make sure y'all hitting that like button. Please hit the like button. Support the channel. Share the content. Those are the free ways to support the channel. And of course, donations are definitely appreciated. All right. So when Omarion was confronted and asked about these accusations, let's hear what he had to say.
Before you guys decide to do the tour, Raz B for years is just sort of a loose cannon.
Okay.
I've interviewed Raz B before. I don't know if you saw the interview or not, but there was the whole Chris Stokes allegations. And then years later, you come forward with some pretty serious accusations about Chris Stokes. And then just a bunch of just crazy behavior. Like he almost loses his thumb at one point. He's in China.
Yeah.
And it's just like really.
He was unhinged. We just spoke about all of that. He was unhinged. I'm telling you, it does something, especially when it happens to boys. And that's like when you see these young people out here hypersexual, don't call them. It's not good. It's just not good. All right, because now I think what happened to that person to make them that way, to make them hypersexual, to make them to want to degrade themselves and devalue themselves. You just never know. They might have been messed with.
Really just a very, someone that seems to be struggling with mental issues is what it appears to me from the outside looking in.
Yes.
As you're going about your life and doing this, and this guy who's connected to you is doing all this crazy stuff on the internet, how are you reacting to it?
I mean, there was definitely moments where I was just like, I was just really pissed off. I was like so upset, you know what I'm saying? But now in my maturity and really understanding, you know, where he's at, I understand more. I understand better. So yeah, I kind of let all that stuff go.
You understand what, Amarion? What you understand, Amarion? You understand it better, and now you letting it all go. See, it's hard for a lot of young boys to come forward. They feel like their manhood would be questioned. They feel like their sexuality will be questioned and compromised. But now y'all have understanding. Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. So then next, Marques Houston started dating a teenager. He's known since before he was 18. She was 18, and they get married in 2020. So let's get into that. Hey, Carol. Let's get into Marques Houston, child. Right. All right. Because he claims they didn't start dating until she was 18. Okay. Y'all all know he's a Jehovah's Witness. Mm-hmm. Y'all all know he's a Jehovah's Witness. All right, there's video footage of them going door to door. If you know, you know. All right, Jehovah's Witnesses, they go door to door to preach the word. All right, here we go.
I swear to God, Marques Houston from Immature just came knocked on my door and gave me this in Jehovah's Witness paper. No lie. I was so in shock I couldn't even find my phone. That's him right there with the back turned to us, right there with the bald head. I don't want to go out there because I don't want to start talking to us, but that's Marques Houston right there.
And she was, it was said that she was with them in that group.
That's him.
That's her right there with the bun. Okay? He wants us to believe. Child. The grooming is grooming. Oh, this is Quindon. Oh, wait. This is popped up, Naughty Crew. Hold on. Let me get. This is an interview with Quindon. Who's this?
That I'm gay, but I don't know if he's gay. I know he likes little boys, and allegedly, hey, that makes you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Sam, you have to see this, mate. First sunrise in the world in New Zealand. It's so good. It's fantastic. Everything about...
Sorry, I hate when it does that. It skips. Here we go.
I mean, I can't tell you if he's gay. I can tell you that I'm gay, but I don't know if he's gay. I know he likes little boys, and allegedly, hey, that makes you something.
Do you think that the experience that happened with Chris Stokes caused you to change your sexuality?
No, growing up, I always knew I was different. I always knew there was something different about me. Even when I dated girls, I knew that I liked boys, and I had 2 girlfriends that I really liked. I loved them, but it was more so for me. I was trying to fit in with society because that was what was acceptable. And growing up in church,
And shout out to Since Day One for this footage. We like to cite our
always told, you're going to hell if you're gay. You're going to hell. That's a sin. It's an abomination and all that. So like, gay was out of the
It just came naturally to lie.
Yeah.
Okay. So when all of this stuff started happening with Marques, like I remember early on in the interview, you told me that he like used to put his leg on you and stuff. Like, were you more susceptible to that action because you already knew you were gay, or like, did you like tell him no?
No, I did not do any of that because I was gay. And when he did the leg thing, like I said, I didn't take it like it was intimate. I feel like, I don't know what, like, I didn't think nothing of it.
Right.
But when the situation happened upstairs in Chris's room, that's a completely different thing.
Right.
And that's not something that I wanted.
Okay.
It was something that was forced upon me.
Right.
And I was told to be quiet or I would lose my career.
Okay.
Now, at that age, sex.
Okay, so there you have the power dynamic. That's how these predators get off. They dangle something like your career, money in your face. And shout out to y'all, go over to Couture Bay and subscribe because she really gave it to it raw. The parents are at the root of this, okay? Living off of these kids, living off their talent because they don't want to really work a 9 to 5 and making them be heads of households before they have to. And it's just sad.
Was not even
on your mind.
Yeah, when I knew, I like guys, but let me make the choice when I was ready.
Right.
I didn't have sex with a guy until I was 19.
Right.
That was my choice.
Right.
To be with someone in the music industry, Marques, and no, that was not something that I did willingly, and it was not consensual. Let's get that straight for everybody out there that's probably thinking that or who have said that. That's not true.
Okay. Well, y'all heard it here first on Since Day One. When and how did your career end? Like, what exactly landed you back in Texas?
It was, I want to say 1998. I had spoken to a young lady in the group, girl, on that. I just know I was working on my second album. Okay. And I was in LA and I was, reaching out to them, trying to figure out what's up, when it's the studio time, what's going on. Nobody's answering the phone. Right. Nobody's picking up, and then when they pick up, they would hang up, and I'm just like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I called Taz. Right. And she answers, and she's like, the boys don't want to talk to you. Chris Stokes is mad, and they don't want to work with you no more. You're telling lies. You're spreading rumors. I said, no, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling facts.
So he spoke up, and they blackballed him. That's what happened. Hey, Angie. Welcome. He spoke up, and they blackballed him because he was telling the truth.
Right. And she was like, well, we need to have a meeting. I'm going to come pick you up. My mother and I were at Connie's house at that time. And she came and picked me up in a silver, the silver Prowler that she had. And we went to a restaurant in LA called M&M's, Soul Food. And we talked, and she asked me what happened because I told, this girl was my best friend at the time in the group, Girl. Right. And, she had confided into another group member and girl named Jamila. Okay. And not Jamila from 702. Okay. But Jamila.
All right, you guys, please make sure you're hitting that like button as you load in. This is footage of Quindon Tarver right before he passed away. I actually just kind of stumbled upon this and looking at another video, and this popped up. I'm sure this video is popping in the algorithm right now. But please hit that like button.
In the group, Girl. Okay. And I guess she went back and told, Chris and the boys and all that. But I guess they got upset and they were hysterical because I finally leaked it to somebody. Okay. So they got scared probably that, okay, the shit's finna hit the fan now. Okay. It's some stuff that go down. They were trying to interview before anything came. Exactly. Okay. Hence why there became immediate sabotage. And separation. Immediately. She said I was lying.
When she asked
Taz told me that at the M&M's, she told me I was lying.
After she asked you to tell her what happened?
And I'm explaining to her that this dude has a mole on his testicle.
Right.
It's the testicle and penis or testicle, one of them.
Woo!
He has a mole down.
Oh, okay. That's details. All right, we're going to stop that right here, okay? Put exclusive in the title. Got you. Okay. When you got, it's the same thing happened to Epstein. That's how they really got him, because one of the victims was able to describe his private area. His private area. Oh my God. Y'all let me know if y'all want to hear more. Y'all let me know if y'all want to hear more. Yo, I always believed him. When I heard that conversation with him and Raz B, you don't just make up details like that. This thing. Hey, Shay B. Okay, got you. Thank you. Thank you, Bree. Always looking out. That's how we grow. We look out for each other. Woo, child. This is a lot. And now my computer want to act stupid. Let me know if y'all can hear me okay, because I think my connection is off. Right, here we go.
Right, you know.
And I know for a fact. Right. How you gonna tell me I'm lying and then I'm telling you what's going on, and then I start telling her other stuff that was going on?
Do he have any kind of marks down there?
He has a mole.
Oh, so we're not talking about Chris Stokes, we're talking about Marques.
Okay. I'm gonna fast forward that a little bit because that picture.
Get this kid completely away from us. Why else would you completely dismiss me?
Right, I know. And when I was researching, he was saying like, "Oh, I got rid of him because he was fat. He had no talent.
Let me ask you this. If I was so fat and that's why you got rid of me, if you truly wanted me to be a successful artist, why didn't you hire me a trainer? Right. Why didn't you hire me someone to help me to lose the weight? Right. If you really wanted to see success in me, that's a lie. I had no talent. Put me next to any male artist that you have ever signed today. I'll kill them. I will stand flat-footed and kill them and still sing my songs in my original key. Okay. And I'm not trying to be cocky. You can mix me with the lies.
I mean, because it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. You've appeared in Romeo and Juliet. You sold over how many records? Albums? 4 million?
Yes, 4 million albums worldwide. Went to Australia, was presented with a plaque.
Okay. That's him in Australia. He's very talented, Quindon. Very talented.
Love Me in Australia was just there last June.
Range.
Received with open arms to the point that I bent over and I was crying. Australia was did a successful gig for Romeo and Juliet. Okay. And they loved me. They received me with open arms. I mean, still singing. Right. We know. No talent. I just feel who that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Everybody in the industry knew me as the little kid with the big voice. Like when we did Irvine Meadows Summer Jam in 1996, like I met with SWV. Everybody loved the kid. Like everybody was like, dude, the voice.
Like the male Aretha Franklin?
Yes. Yes. Why would they compare me? He said we were looking for someone that sounded like Stevie Wonder, but what we found was someone that sounded like the young Aretha Franklin. So if I had no talent, how could I be compared to the Queen of Soul?
My whole point.
That don't make sense.
Y'all leave your comments and opinions down below.
Make it make sense. Shout out to Sensei One for this Resurfaced interview exclusive. Okay, this is Quindon Tarver in his own words, expressing and telling us what happened to him. I'm glad he did this interview because this is his voice still speaking on till this day, years after he has passed on.
Let me know how you feel about this situation. Don't forget to just tell Quindon, give him your praise, prayers, whatever. Send up to God. Share this video to your friends and your family. Let everyone know about this. We got to get this out there. What I wanted to know was, can you elaborate to me on how Chris Stokes was allegedly involved in your child sex abuse?
He never was. He never did anything. He never did anything to me.
Right.
He orchestrated everything.
Okay.
He was behind it.
Okay. So when y'all are in the act, was he telling Marques what to do to you?
I'm thinking they already planned something. Okay. They already knew what was going to be done. Okay. They had to have known. Okay. Because how you up there sleep and not know what's going on? You not sleep for one.
Were there any lights on? The lights were on?
It was dark.
Okay, it was dark.
Pitch dark in the bedroom. I remember the bedroom like it was yesterday.
So, I remember in the beginning, I know I'm probably late, but in the beginning you were saying y'all stayed in hotel rooms. Uh-huh. But now I see you're
Okay, now he's getting into the description of the bedroom. Remember, we listened to this yesterday. Him and Raz B describing the bedroom in detail. Let me tell you something. You don't make things like that up. Only victims hold on to those details. Oh my God. And AT2, I stumbled upon this. It was so random.
Keep saying Chris's room. So did y'all have a house by this time?
He had a house.
Oh, he had a house.
That was not my house. I would stay there. Okay. But when I met Chris, they lived in the Universal Hilton and the Universal Sheraton, and they were driving rental cars. Mm. After I was signed, next thing I knew, I flew out, and he was staying in Studio City. The house that I think You Got Served was filmed in.
Oh,
he was staying. One. Yeah, he was staying there and had a brand new Lexus SUV.
And lived, and Mature lived here. This house was owned by my cousin Chris Stokes.
That's right.
Right here. This house right here on the right. 4114. This is the house. Dang, that's crazy. All the times I used to come over here to see my cousin.
That's Ricky Romance. My bad. And he too is also a victim. He's made allegations as well. I showed you he was the only one that responded. Shout out to AT2. That's how I was able to find it. I showed you he responded to Monet and said, "Tell her to call me. I'm ready to take him down." All right, his words. His words.
And my brother was living here. I didn't even know. I didn't know what was going on in that house. Oh man, this was this window right here to the right. That was as soon as you walk in, the window to the right was Chris had the white room, the white carpet with the white piano. Yeah, this is the house where my brother was violated, man. He was stating that this is where everything happened, where Marques Houston molested him.
Do you think that he could have used some of your money to get that?
Had to have. How do you go from hotels and rental cars to a house in Studio City in a Lexus SUV?
Right.
Look, come on now. Look, like Mr. T, I pity the fool.
Sounds like Quindon had one of those 360 P. Diddy contracts, all right, where Chris Stokes made all the money and he made peanuts.
Was Chris Stokes married at the time that all of this was going on? Because I read somewhere that he's boasting, I ain't never done that. I've been married to my wife 16 years. We have kids together. But that doesn't never mean nothing, though.
At all whatsoever. And no, to my knowledge, he wasn't married. He was dating this young lady by the name of Nene Morton. But I don't think that... I know for a fact they weren't married at the time I was involved with the whole get hooked game.
Okay. Where was your mom? Because a lot of people seem to think that y'all got rich and she moved back to Texas and left you down there with him.
Well, You want me to address you or them?
I mean me.
Okay. I, foremost for myself, will say to you, we've never seen what rich feels like.
Okay.
Never in my life. My mother never neglected or abandoned me.
Okay.
My mother would leave and go home and handle business. And sometimes my mother would go on trips, which that's fine for her to do. I don't know. That was okay. But like I said, my mom didn't know anything was going on.
Okay.
My mom would leave me with this person that we thought we could trust.
What was life like after your career ended and you came back to Texas?
It was very difficult for me.
Yeah.
Because when I did come back to Texas, it was like, boom, I've been molested, I've been raped, I've lost my career. Now I gotta go back to public school. And I didn't even go to school but one time when I was on the road doing music,
Right.
and signed and
that's a lot to process for a young child. You know, you go from having everything to all of a sudden the rug is pulled out from underneath you, and you have been violated in the process of this, and I have nothing as a result of it. Make that make sense. His management failed him.
I went to school class one time, participated in one classroom. It was with myself and the boys, and our teacher, her name was Elaine. She also, which is kind of cool, she was Leonardo DiCaprio's teacher too.
Right.
But no. So to have not been going to school, which I'm not saying that's good, it's kind of like neglect on his end because he should have had us in school every day.
Yeah.
But that's also kind of like.
I mean, on that, I disagree. His mother should have been making sure he was in school. I mean, just because your child is a child star, that doesn't take away from your responsibilities of being a parent. Like, you still have to make sure certain things are getting done, star or not. They still need their education by law. Let me know what y'all think, y'all, in the comments. Like, to me, that doesn't absolve his mom. Like, that wasn't Chris's responsibility. That was his mother's job to make sure he was getting the proper education.
Child abuse, a form of it.
It is.
But no, it was horrible for me. It was horrible to go from living this life, you're touring, things are going great for you, except for all that. But like, I wasn't rich though. I was making some money, but I wouldn't consider myself to be rich.
Right.
What hurt the most is that it was over.
It was over.
Like, to me,
Carol, it's child labor. It's child labor.
It felt like it was a death. Because not only did I didn't want to sing anymore. It took a long time for me to want to sing. And then going back to school and having to watch yourself in a movie in 9th grade, like.
They made you watch the movie in class?
You still watch Romeo and Juliet in the 9th grade.
Okay.
It's a part of the whole Shakespeare teachings. But to go through that and watch that, and I'm like, that brought back memories again. I was suppressing so much inside of me. Like, by the time I graduated high school, I had come out as a homosexual. I spiraled. I began to spiral. Like, alcohol became my best friend.
Okay, and that's what happens. These are the symptoms you see. Carol, thank you for your comment. She said, first of all, I think mom should have been more involved. Hello. In what was happening to her child. Not sure if it was economics or what, but I would have been right there to oversee my child. Exactly. Not off on trips, leaving my kid unattended. Can't trust nobody out here. But I want to get to the point where he's talking about how he started using alcohol to suppress those feelings. Just notice a lot of the symptoms of the young men in the industry. They use a lot of substances. We all know some of it is the plant treatment, some of it is in the pill form, okay? Some of it is in the scissors, all right? You see that they're hypersexual. They cannot stay committed in a relationship. They have intimacy issues. That's why they go from woman to woman to woman and bed hop, right? Because their sexuality is broken, it's confused when they're violated. So I just wanted to make that point. Carol, thank you for your comment. So true. Parents need to do better at protecting their children.
Bad drinking problem, and then dabbled in drugs. My life just got completely out of control. I didn't know whether to shit or go blind. Seriously, or go. I didn't know what to do.
Hi, Danny. He said that his mother didn't know anything. And that just goes to show, like, parents need to do a better job as to paying attention to their children and their behaviors and seeing when there's a change, because there's always a shift. There's a shift. You could tell when something happens to your child.
Like, my life was really a mess. And people didn't know why I was going crazy. People didn't know what I was going through mentally, physically, emotionally. I was broken and trying to put this mask on, like everything is okay. And I'm fucked up and needed help. I didn't even tell my mother until Raz B came out with his story. When Raz B came out with his story, that's when I told my mom.
And see, this is common. You want to know why? Because you have that fear that you're not going to be believed. So until someone could corroborate, that's when he felt comfortable enough to open up to his mom. Yeah, Couture Bay, I see what she said. The mother she knew she served her son up. A lot of these parents knew, including Aaliyah parents, okay? Not only did her parents serve her up, mama was sleeping with R. Kelly, allegedly, okay? Danny said facts. Couture Bay, Swirl Game said this is sad. It absolutely is. Couture Bay says she was absent on purpose. She didn't know Chris Stokes to be leaving him like that. Period. The mother knew. I don't see what he's saying. The Me Too movement is in full effect this year. Absolutely. The year of reveal and accountability. Let's go.
She was angry. She cried and she was really angry. She said, "Why didn't you say anything?"
Why didn't you say anything?
I don't know. Like, after when that first happened, I was told if I said anything, I would lose my career. But when I came home, like, I didn't want to talk about that. It's embarrassing. I felt shameful. Like, I just wanted to suppress it. I didn't want anybody to know. It's not something you.
I'm glad he's mentioning his symptoms. This is what young men go through when they're violated. And that's why they end up using substances to suppress all that hurt and that pain, because they don't know how to express it. This is like,
you go around and talk about, Definitely didn't want my mama to know.
Right. Did you feel like she would look at you different if she knew that then?
Shout out to Since Day One. This was a very telling interview. I felt like she asked great questions. Didn't expect to stumble upon that. Let me drop the link just in case any other content creators want to use this footage. Woo! That was a lie. That was a lie. That was a lie. We gotta protect our kids a lot better. Seriously, it's no amount of money in the world that will make me serve my kid up. I'm sorry. All right, so I stumbled upon that because we was looking at Marques Houston and Chris Stokes going door to door doing their witnessing, and the young lady had caught them on video. Yes, Couture, it's the age of Scorpio. People are fighting back. Yes. No more victim mentality. I said this earlier on AT2 panel. Couture Bay said this on her panel today. Silence creates more victims, people. You have to speak up, all right? So I was showing you that video earlier of Marques Houston going door to door, and his wife, Maya Dickey, at that time, she was with them. She was young. She had a little bun on top of her head. I'll leave the link so you guys can look at it a little closer or whatever. But ultimately, Maya was a runaway. She was a runaway, hanging out and living at Chris Stokes' house. Where was her parents? Hello, where was her parents? All right, so she befriended Chris Stokes' daughter, and they're best friends to this day. Let me see if I can get this bigger. So that's why Monier's statement is really going to rock the boat in a lot of households. Let me just see. Didn't come up. Dicky.
reported her missing August 6, 2016. But allegedly she was missing prior to that date. That's just the date that they confirmed, or this was finally confirmed that she was missing. As you can see at that time, age now is 16 years old. Now it's said that her mother lost custody of her, and so she ended up being into a foster placement, and she was moved from where her mother was, and she ran back home to her mother. So it's suspected that she was home with her mother, and like I said, she just didn't get reported. So again, this says that her birth mother, Paula Harris, lost parental rights in California, and Mayana was adopted. Oh, she was adopted in 2012, and then they moved to Eugene, Oregon. She ran away from there August 6, 2016. It is believed that Mayana is with or traveling to her birth mother, Paula, or maternal grandmother, Barbara Dotson, in California. All right, so she ran back to California, and clearly we know that now that she is residing in and married to Marques in California. Now, this is where Chris Stokes come in. And I don't know what's going on. This is a current picture, but he posted her picture back in 2017, and he posted it with the same tagline, "Me and my spiritual daughter." And it had appeared based on his Instagram and hers that she was residing with Chris Stokes. And so you would think that the adoptive parents or foster parents would know that, because it wasn't like she was hiding. Now, Marques Houston told us in this unsung interview that he met his future teenage bride through mutual friends, aka Chris Stokes, right? And she ran away and was living with Chris Stokes, probably so that the mama wouldn't get in trouble. You had to know this girl before and prior to 17. There was also older pictures of these two shown together, and in those pictures, she did not look 17, and I believe in one of those pictures, her real age was mentioned. It was interesting to hear how predators always sound in groomers, that he stated that they didn't begin speaking seriously, and he didn't take her serious until after she turned of age. Meanwhile, you was just sitting there kind of waiting for her to hit that magical number. So you were still plotting on a young teenager. And now I find it interesting, the specific clip that went viral of him being very weird, talking about the age gap and trying to make it normal and sound like it's not a big deal. And of course, watching part 2, you would know why he doesn't think that's a big deal with being with a teenager. But that wasn't the most telling portion and part of the interview. So let's look at this.
It are women that I've dated that even now that are in their 40s, my age, that still don't know what they want. You know, when it comes to a relationship and person that you're with, you know, and that's just what it is. And we love each other and we respect each other. We've known each other for 4 years. We've been together. We've been married for 2 years now. We have a beautiful little girl, and it's going great. So, and my thing is like, you don't know me. You don't know our situation. When people see us together, they get it. People look up to us as a couple, as a married couple, because we're friends. And this, what people don't understand, when you're in this industry, you don't age. It's just something about you keep a youthful.
Did you hear what he said?
What's up, everybody?
Hold on. When you in this industry, you just don't age. And another thing he said, dating women his age, they come with too much baggage, too much trauma. I remember this interview, and I was jumping through my screen like she ain't had parents that cared about her. He was spilling the tea during that interview. I'm not gonna play it all or whatever. He was spilling the tea, and it gave me Predator. Oh, it gave me Predator. He don't see nothing wrong with dating a girl half his age that has not lived. And whenever they date young girls like that, it's about control. He wants to control the narrative. That's all it is. It's another power dynamic. Another power dynamic. Ooh, child. So you saw her break it down, Couture. I saw your comment. Like, the parents did not care. They did not care. And then she was in foster care. Her adopted parents didn't even care. Let me tell you something. The foster care system in California, because I know one of my coworkers used to foster children. It's horrid. And you never know what kind of household those kids are going to end up in. Because my question is, why did she run away? What was she running away from? It had to be something going on in home there. Yeah, Couture Best said, I want to know how come the parents didn't get their daughter back. Exactly. Or were they paid off by Chris? Exactly, Couture. Someone running away is a sign of trauma in the home. They didn't care. To me, that TV1 interview, you guys go look at it. It's very telling. It's very telling. He speaks like a groomer. He speaks like a groomer. All right, so we got into Quindon by accident. We got into Marques and his marriage. We got into Omarion response. You know, I'm hoping all this gives them the courage to come forward, because I believe in my heart of hearts, and it's my opinion that something happened there. It didn't just stop with Raz B. I feel like that was the culture of that label. Whew. Where was I? All right, getting back to Lipstick Alley. We going down the timeline. All right, the last thing we ended off with was Marques Houston starts dating a teenage girl. Then next we have Raz B does an in-depth interview with Hollywood Unlocked that's supposed to be broadcast on Fox, but Chris Stokes sends a cease and assist to cancel it. Okay, he uses his power. And then Raz B challenging Stokes and Houston to a polygraph test the next day, and they don't respond. The interview was posted on YouTube in February. Then Quindon Tarver is unalive in a car accident on April 1st, 2021. So, I mean, that's a breakdown of the timeline of these allegations. Like I said, everything is alleged. No criminal charges have been brought forth. They did have an investigation, according to Quindon's words. He was contacted by LA PD. They were trying to do an investigation, but they could not get the witnesses to cooperate. And that takes me back to my point. Silence creates more victims. As far as Monet and her statement, they had what, 3 boys and 1 girl. I wonder if something happened to one of her kids, and this is what's giving her the courage to come forward now. Because if he will do a cousin, I don't put him past him to do a son. I'm just saying. People like that have no boundaries, none whatsoever. They have no boundaries, and everybody is up for grabs. But I stress it's a reason why Monet hashtag Marques Houston, and I believe Marques Houston went from victim to perpetrator. That's a lot of PEDOs have been violated. And they put that pain on someone else. Okay, so that's all I have for the breakdown. Oh, the last key point I want to bring out. We talked about them being Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay. You guys can Google it. That organization has a history of cover ups when it comes to this essay. There it is on the screen. Y'all could just Google it yourselves. It's all over YouTube. It's all over YouTube. July 21st of 2023 by Shaheen and Gordon PA in a landmark ruling, a victim of childhood SA, known only as ND, has been awarded a groundbreaking $40 million settlement in a lawsuit against the Makaha congregation of, y'all see it, and then when you go down, it's more. And let me tell you, there's a rule that they have called the 2 witness rule. And see, their biggest downfall is this organization keeps records like you would never believe. So when it was reported, the incident, they would make a record of it, but they didn't report it to like the authorities. That's why they were able to get this lawsuit. And so within that organization, they have a 2 witness rule, and it's exactly what it is. So like if you come forward with an allegation, if you do not have 2 witnesses to back you up, it's swept under the rug. And it's just as simple as that. And in situations like this, when you're dealing with SA and graping, it's usually a one-on-one situation dynamic. You're never going to have 2 witnesses. And so if you look at, remember when Leah Remini exposed Scientology? At the tail end of that series, she did a segment, the Jehovah's Witnesses, in exposing them. All right. So it's all out there. The information's out there, you guys. I have to speak low because my mom is a Jehovah's Witness. So I don't want to disrespect her because her belief is her belief. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say like, I'll put it to you like this. Even with the Catholic Church and everything, it's not a matter of the belief system. It's a matter of you just have bad people within the organization. And it's how they handle it with reporting it to the authorities. That's where the flaws come in. But they are so hell bent on keeping a pristine, squeaky clean image. They sacrifice the youth. Exactly. So this is you can't trust anyone. And I've talked about this on my channel. This grooming, it's on all levels, all entities in sports, in religion, in the movie industry. It's on all levels. So you just have to know no one could be trusted. And a lot of people are walking around wolves in sheep's clothing, and they use religion and things like that just so that people will trust them and won't dig in. But we got to protect our kids. We got to protect our babies. Seriously, like it's just a lot going on. Goings ons. Woo! Now, Shay B, I saw you mention something that Kevin Hart put a restraining order on TK. Let me see. I didn't see anything pop up on my feed. I was looking for it. Oh shoot. We're Radar Online. It's on Radar Online. All right, let's get into it, Naughty Crew. Thank you, Shay B. Let me see what you're saying, Couture. For what? She doesn't live in California? It's like a witch hunt at this point. I just have a feeling the ex-assistant is behind it. It's out because I don't think he would have said anything. I mean, this is how I feel about that interview with the ex-assistant. She didn't tell me nothing we didn't already know. Like, and his wife noticed. His wife leaving. But Kevin Hart is infamous for doing stuff like this, strong arming, and I just think that's just because he has short man syndrome. He's trying to make up for his shortcomings. So he said he pleads to the judge, and shout out to Radar Online. I have offered Kevin pleads with judge for restraining order against Tasha K. Demands ex-assistant interview be taken down. Kevin Hart asked the courts to grant him a temporary restraining order that will force blogger Tasha K to take down a video of her ex-assistant Misha Shakes, which he alleged was full of defamation claims. According to court documents obtained by Radar Online on Friday, the comedian filed a declaration as part of his lawsuit against Tasha K and Miasha, where he said his reputation and career were on the line. Here's my thing, though. I could see him bringing a case against the ex-assistant. Tasha K just asked questions and she answered. Well, you know he got an ego, child, out this world. Like, if you ain't have all that money, would you have all that ego, sir? He got short man complex for real, for real. But you know, I don't like. He was funnier when his wife and him was his ex-wife and him were working together. Now as of late, I don't. Napoleon syndrome. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, she not going to take it down. She not going to take it down. But I'm just like, what's the point? what's the point in bringing a restraining order? Tasha K hasn't mentioned him since. It's just like, stop. He's going too hard. I feel like he's going too hard. Y'all let me know in the comments. I just feel like he's making this a bigger thing than it has to be. Excuse me, y'all. Y'all know I'm still trying to get that cough up out of me. Well, speaking of Kevin Hart, and Couture Bay, shout out to you. She's about this too. I was like, me and Couture on the same page, y'all. We be on the same stories, okay? We all be talking about the same stories. But his ex-wife is speaking out and defending why she is keeping her name. I understand why she would keep her name. The same reason why Tina Turner fought for her name. Okay. Also, when you're married and you have children, sometimes people, they just want to keep their same name as their children. So people not all up in the business. Okay. They just want to keep everything cohesive and the same. Or whatever. I don't even think it's right that they even asked her to defend this. It's ridiculous. Like, if Drea Kelly can still keep her name, like, that's one name I would have gave back. I don't know about y'all, but it's a career thing. It's a career thing. But Drea Kelly, that's one name I would have gave back, and then I wouldn't have felt like she was complicit in all of this. Because in my opinion, she was participating in some of that activity. I'm just saying, just because of the actions she took during the Surviving R. Kelly series, she tried to extort one of the girls for money and things like that. And it just made me look at her like, you just as predatory as your ex-husband. Like, that's what it's given. Exactly. Yes, we on the same wavelength. All right, let's get into Tory Hart and her thoughts on her name. Okay. Shout out to Morning Juice Box. Love them.
Last name and then working with his op, that's not a cool thing to do. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, this is my name. Okay, my name is Tory Hart. And last time I checked, when you get married, it legally becomes your name. So legally, by law, I am Tory Hart. And so therefore, it's my name. And like Tina Turner said, I'm going to keep everything. Take everything, but I'm going to keep my name. And at the end of the day, Kevin ain't never said anything about me having the name. He's never once said, I don't want you to have the name. And he's never said anything about it.
Okay.
So, and even if he did, it's my name.
And I respect that 1,000%. What are some of the reasons behind wanting to keep that name?
Well, because I've built a career with this name. And like I said, my last name, my maiden name was Skipper. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
Tory Skipper. You're riding off the
all that other stuff, but only if I get to keep my name. I work.
That's
coattails
right.
of his last name and then working with his op. That's not a cool thing to do.
You know what? Shout out to Tory. Get that bag, honey. Get the bag. People need to mind their business. That's her giving right. And you got to go through a lot when you change your name. She changed her name. She got to change all the accounts. She got to change. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. And I felt like she gave a very good answer. And if Kevin Hart ain't complaining about it, why are we questioning it? Period. And they keep saying, oh, she going to work with the ops. He wished her the best. She got to get her money how she get her money. And what better way to get her money than on the most popular comedian that's trending right now, Cat Williams. I thought it was strategic. And I say, go get your bag, honey. Go get your bag. So on another note, TLC fans are concerned because they canceled a tour and they're hoping it's not. I don't know if you know, but T-Boz, she has been she a very smart woman and she getting herself back out there. The kids is almost grown. This her empty nest season, okay? That's how I am. People be like, Naughty, you always be out. Child, I don't raise my kids. Okay? My kids are grown. I can move out where I want, travel when I want. I'm trying to link up with everybody in Vegas. Okay, I don't want to miss out on that. And plus, I've never been to Vegas. And Couture, you made me want to go to Vegas yesterday. Like really, really. But I've been looking up my flight and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get my business in order or whatever. I'm gonna reach out to you, Couture, to figure out what hotel, the details and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been looking heavy for my flights to see if I could get there and meet you at AT2 in person. It sounds like it's gonna be a great time. So yeah, shout out to the Jasmine brand. TLC fans expressed concern for T-Boz after the group cancels their Australia tour with Busta Rhymes in Vogue, praying for you. So yeah, T-Boz suffers with sickle cell. And I have a cousin that also suffers with that. And it's very when you get an attack and it comes down, it's debilitating. Um, and to be quite honest, she's lucky to be alive, seriously, because that ailment, it takes you out. No, she has sickle cell. She has sickle cell. That's Snoop Dogg's daughter that has lupus, and I got an update on her too. So prayers out to T-Boz because I really like her. She's very unproblematic. Australian fans of the 90s R&B group TLC will have to wait a little longer to see the singers live. The girl group official Instagram page recently shared a post that revealed the duo made of Chili, we know her as, and T-Boz has canceled their forthcoming tour, and many are hoping it isn't due to health complications. And to be quite honest, we haven't seen T-Boz in a minute, right? So they posted to our incredible Australian and New Zealand fans, with heavy hearts, we regret to announce the cancellation of our upcoming tour. And they said unforeseen circumstances have made it impossible to proceed, and we sincerely apologize for any disappointment to our fans. Your support means everything, and we promise to make it up to you. We can't wait to be back in your beautiful country soon. Thank you for your understanding and your love. Yo, prayers up to T-Boz. I hope everything is okay with her. I haven't seen her in a while. And usually that means she probably is in the hospital. She spent most of their earlier days in and out of the hospital. It's just so sad. I just wish they would come up with some type of cure or treatment plan so people don't have to suffer. Sickle cell is more people than you know suffer from it. Let me see. Next, I want to get into the update on Snoop Dogg's daughter. Oh my God, child. Peter Thomas talking about the restaurant opening. Go sit down. That's what I say. Go sit down. I have to look for it. I'll look for it in a second. We'll do another story. All right. Let's get into Eva Marcille. Of course, everyone's asking her about the whole Taraji P. Henson. I don't know why people expect certain answers. Just like when they went up to Vivica Fox. Like, I didn't feel like Vivica said anything wrong. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for capturing this footage. But Eva Marcille, you know, she speaks her mind, okay? Like, she don't hold back for nobody, but she looks good. It looks like she's been putting on weight because like in the beginning when she was going through her divorce and everything, I was concerned, all right? But she's a petite girl and I understand it. I'm a petite girl. And when I stress, it shows because it affects my appetite and everything. And the divorce is nothing like to be going through, but it looks like she's bouncing back and getting back to her healthy place. So I'm really happy to see that. So let's hear what she has to say.
What about Taraji? She's complaining that she didn't have food, she didn't have a car service. Women just got back to working. What do you think about her claims?
What you think about Charlotte?
I think you can shut them off and let people make some money.
I mean, I feel like to each its own. You know, it's like saying I got cut deeper than you got cut, so you can't really cry. I can cry harder. You know, I'm women's lib. I'm always gonna be here for my women. So if you know Taraji feels like there's a situation that could have been improved and she wanted to speak on it, by more power to her. I'm just fortunate that the space where I work at and at TPS, I don't have any issues. Our work start on time, we finish on time, we get paid on time. Life is good. I love my coworkers, I love my co-stars, my crew, the creator, our TP. Like I love my show.
So you weren't finna hit us with the Vivica Fox response, was you?
Yeah, we good over here.
I mean, because essentially, and because not to slight my girl, I love Taraji, and Taraji has worked in this business for a long time. And to work in this business, I remember talking to one of my mentors. To work in this business as an actor, basically, you decided to be unemployed. That is what you signed up for. And so the way we get it in the paint, every single job, every extra dollar on that job adds to our quote for our next job, our bottom line. It matters. The size of your dressing room, you can negotiate that. Like everything. If you got a chair on set, if you got a sleeve on the back of your chair, everything is negotiated. And it's harder for us to negotiate. So the fact that she's speaking up, she's not doing nothing that Sidney Poitier and Viola Davis hasn't done for years.
What about Taraji? She's complaining.
I say, well said. Okay, that's what you call media trained. All right, don't know. The media is manipulative too. They'll try to put people against each other and mince words and things like that. And I didn't hear no hate. I didn't hear no shade. So say what you want. I felt like she handled her ish. I felt like she handled it. Exactly, Carol. I felt like she handled it accordingly. They always trying to put us against each other. It's annoying, okay? And then the last thing I wanted to get into was Nene. She was spotted. Oh, here's the Corey. Here's the Corey update. Sorry, here we go. Found it. I was looking at the wrong content creator, Jasmine Brands. Okay, they have it. So Snoop Dogg's daughter, Corey Broadus, gives update after suffering stroke, hoping to be home soon. So she posted, I truly appreciate all the love and support for real. Again, I'm human. I go through ish like everybody else, which is why I'm so open about my life because I know I feel alone, but we are never alone. Someone is always going through damn near the same love, I think that she means, still here, hoping to be home soon. Okay, so as I reported the other day, she suffers from lupus. She's been suffering from since she was a young child. I believe she was diagnosed between the ages of 4 and 6, and she's been on medications all these years. She also, you know, as a result of her being looking different, a darker skinned girl and stuff like that, she dealt with a lot of bullying in school and things like that. So she has like some mental challenges as well. And I just think You know, sometimes when you are sick for a very long time like this and you've been on medication, people just get tired of the medications. And she tried to go an alternative route, a more holistic route. But I think where she made her mistake is she stopped her medications cold turkey, which is never a good idea when you have an autoimmune disease. And so by her stopping it cold turkey, I believe that's what caused her to have a stroke. But I'm glad she's getting better. I'm sending prayers up to her. And hopefully they can find a balance between her holistic approach and her medications. You know, hopefully she could work with her doctors to come up with a balanced plan for herself. I mean, she may just need to do both. You understand? But it's never a good idea, especially if you're on serious medications, to just stop them cold turkey. And I'm coming to you. This is a girl that has been in the pharmaceutical business. In July, it'll be 18 years. So I know something about medications. All right. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. All right. Your girl got experience. And I work with the big money drugs. Okay. And the last story I want to get into is ooh, I want to do Nene, but I wanted to do. Did y'all hear British got locked up because she didn't? British Williams from Basketball Wives, she got locked up because she ain't turned herself in. Let me tell you something. From that Carlos King interview, I gathered from her that young lady does not like taking accountability for anything, and she tried to blame it on gambling and all this and that. No, chick, you was trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you got greedy. And you was overspending and frauding the people, okay? All right. But they locked her behind up. They went and got her because you know how the feds is. They don't play that. They don't play that. But on the tail end of that, they done got her baby daddy. Shout out to the uncut. Wow, British William ex-husband Lorenzo Gordon charged with fraud days after she went to prison. Now, she was begging the judge to let her stay out so she could spend the holidays with her daughter, right? And they granted her that grace. And this chick tried to go on the run and then turn herself in. See? British arrested after not reporting to federal prison 9 days past reporting day. You see what I'm talking about? You just dumb. You just, girl, I hope one thing that she learned while she is locked up is how to
Ever in life, I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in
she need to learn how to stand on business. When I looked at that Carlos King interview, I said no accountability. It's everybody else's fault but her own. But now they done got the baby daddy too, the ex-husband. And I'm concerned for the child at this point because they have a young child. So just after his ex, British Williams, was sentenced to prison last year for fraud, is now facing his own. Lorenzo is now facing his own federal indictment accusing him of falsifying applications for pandemic relief loans, PPP loans. He is charged with 3 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of theft of government property. He is accused of lying on the C-19 business relief application about how long he had operated 2 businesses and how much money they made and whether he was the sole owner of the janitorial company. Federal prosecutors say Gordon collected nearly $273,000 unlawfully. Woo, child. And one of the things British highlighted in that Carlos King interview is how her mom abandoned her and wasn't there to raise her. And look at here, you turn around and do the same thing to your child. That poor baby. That poor baby. All right, now I'm gonna close out the show with Nene because Nene, Nene shot out. Shout out to the neighborhood talk in TMZ, and I'm gonna just play. I'm gonna show y'all the footage, but I'm gonna just play. I'm not gonna play the sound here because TMZ is off the hook. TMZ is off the hook. And then yeah, after this I'm gonna go study my script. Let's get it's gonna be fun. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Here we go. All right. So TMZ spotted Nene and she talked about how she felt about the Housewives of Atlanta and keeping the girls on. Look, let me tell you something. Potomac is whack. And I'm sorry. I think Gizzy Giselle needs to be off the show, especially after the allegations she made against Chris. I ain't like it.
Saying like, damn, they got us in the dark. You know, the ratings had gone down last year. Yeah. I wonder, do you think it's time to like just blow it all up, like start fresh?
Yeah.
Really? Do you think they would do that though? Because I mean, you know, I think relationships. They should.
If they're gonna keep those same girls over and over and over, it's out of the
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, even like, I mean, think about it. Like,
they really see it. Speaking of they should keep a couple. I think half of the cast should go. At least
you gotta shake it up. It's like a sports team, right? Like,
feel like half of the cast should go.
well, look, you know, like, who do you think is core? And everyone always wants you back. I know we always ask you this, but like, do you think if they brought you back, you could help with the ratings?
Of course she gonna say yes.
I wonder, you know, you shaking it up is probably the only way to save it.
They gotta take at least half.
Who do you think stays?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Right. It's not like that no more. Like,
I don't really know some of the two girls. I really don't know that. I've only seen clips that come down social media. It is definitely not the same.
Right. Maybe it's time. And you know, hey, all these shows, it's about money. It's a bottom line.
It is. It is also about pleasing the fans who actually help put the show on the map.
That's right.
So it's all about what they want.
Right. Shaking it up.
So she feels like they need to shake up. It's time to shake up the cast, and I believe that. I mean, we haven't had a real storyline from Giselle on Potomac since when? Like, it's just a whole bunch of fake foolery playing in our faces. I don't like how they are trying to ice out Candace this season. When they've been coming for her marriage, they've been making all these false allegations, and it's just like, where's your storyline, Giselle? Every season you got a new man that we hardly see. All right, every season you're mad at someone and you're not talking to them. And I just really feel like she need to be held accountable for what she did to Chris last season. It's to the point Chris don't even want to film, and I don't blame him. You don't make false accusations like that, and just walk away like nothing never happened. And I believe they planted that whole mistress, the one that Tasha K interviewed. I believe that came from the Green Eye Bandit, and for that, I want them going. I want them going. It's not okay. Child, Juan, I'm sorry, he is verbally aggressive towards Robin. That's the words I would use. It's concerning. And I feel like he's emotionally not available for Robin. My thought. For the life of me, I don't understand why she married him again. I don't know. All right, that's all I have for you, Naughty Crew. I appreciate everyone joining me. It probably is more to it. It probably is more to it. Like, but whenever she try to, I'm gonna say this. I think it's when she bring the drama from the group back to him. That's what he can't. He goes crazy over. That's what he goes crazy over. All right, Naughty Crew. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I got a script to study or whatever, so that I can be ready for my table read tomorrow. I appreciate every last one of y'all joining me. Please go over to Couture Bay and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Please go over to AT2's channel and subscribe. I appreciate they always support me, and I love them long time for that. I'm gonna do my best to get to Vegas because I definitely need a trip. I need to get out of here, change of theme. I love you all, and just make sure you don't get.
You ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up.
Don't get swallowed up by all this foolery going on in the industry and around us. All is being revealed, and people are going to have to start being held accountable. Remember, silence creates more victims. And remember, always not
Ever in life, I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on business. I don't feel like you stand on business. Yeah, I've been stood on business. I've been stood on business. Ever in life, I stand.
Make sure y'all standing on business, okay? And to all my haters.
And I wanna say thank you in case I don't thank you enough.
I thank y'all too. Y'all keep the wheels turning over here. I thank my haters, okay? So make sure y'all hitting that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And remember, please subscribe to my backup channel. I'm trying to get monetized over there so I can start going live. I think I need like 500 subs to start going live over there. All right. And share my content on your different social media platforms. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Let me know what you think about Monet, Chris Stokes ex making that grand statement, and now all of a sudden her page is gone. All right. We took a trip down memory lane. I gave you a little background as to where these allegations develop from. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think the day of reckoning is here. All right. We also got into Nene, how she feels about the new Roa cast, and she feels like there should be a cast mix up. Who else? We had Eva Marcille speaking on the Taraji P. Henson situation. That's all I can remember. I'm exhausted, you guys. I'm so freaking exhausted now. I hope you all have a beautiful evening. Bree, enjoy your dinner, child. I'm about to go find me something to eat myself. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. One.